Our today topic is gravitation. Class ninth Science. What is gravitation? Gravitation is the force of attraction between two objects in the universe. Gravitation may be between Earth and any object. Say for example, if we drop any object from a certain height, it falls towards due to Earth's gravity. Attraction between Earth and Moon, attraction between Sun and planets, it is also the same thing. Next is centripetal force. When a body moves in a circular path, it changes its direction at every point. The force which keeps the body in the circular path acts toward the circle of the center of the circle. This force is called centripetal force. It means the force towards center is known as centripetal force. Example, a motorcyclist drive the motorcycle in well of death with the help of this force. Next is universal law of gravitation. The universal law of gravitation states that every object in this universe attracts every other object with the force which is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Suppose we are having two objects A and B. The distance between these two objects is F and having mass capital M stand for A and small m stand for B. The force of attraction between these two objects A and B is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Distance is D. Next is free fall. The earth attracts objects towards it due to gravitational force. When an object falls towards the earth due to the earth's gravitational force, it is called free fall. When an object falls toward the earth, there is a change in its acceleration due to the gravitational force of the earth. So, this acceleration is called acceleration due to gravity and it is noted by small g and its unit is meter per second square. Next is the important topic, mass and weight. Sometimes the question come into exam, the difference between mass and weight. Mass. The mass of a body is measure of its inertia. If the mass of a body is more, its inertia is more. The mass of a body is constant and does not change from place to place. The SI unit of mass is kilogram. Students, this point to be noted that the mass of a body is constant. It cannot be zero. Weight. The weight of a body is the force with which the earth attracts the body. It means force may be zero also. It means weight may be zero also. The force with which a body is acceleration due to gravity g. So it means F equal to m into g. The weight of a body changes from place to place. The SI unit of weight is Newton. Now, weight of an object on the moon. The weight of an object on the earth is the force with which the earth attracts the object, and weight of an object on the moon is the force with which the moon attracts the object. The same way, the mass of the moon is less than the mass of the earth. So the moon exerts lesser force on the object than the earth because this force of attraction also depends upon the mass of the moon and mass of the earth. The weight of an object on the moon is always 1/6 of its weight on the earth. Next, thrust and pressure. Thrust you can say force also. But when force is applied perpendicular to the surface, then it is known as thrust. Thrust is the force acting on an object perpendicular to the surface. Example, when we stand on loose sand, the force means weight of our body is acting on an area equal to the area of our feet. When we lie down, the same force acts on an area equal to the contact area of the whole body. In both cases, the force acting on the sand means thrust is the same. Now, pressure. What is pressure? We know force per unit area is known as pressure. You can also say that press equal to thrust upon area. The effect of thrust on loose sand is larger while standing than while lying down. It means pressure is inversely proportional to the area. Greater the area, lesser the pressure. Less the area, greater will be the pressure. Now the important topic, pressure in fluids means liquid and gases. Fluid exerts pressure on the base of and the wall of the container. That is why dams are having width at bottom as compared to the upper part. Fluid exerts pressure in all the direction. Pressure exerts on fluid is transmitted equally in all the direction. Now, buoyancy. Buoyancy in Hindi we can say uchhal bal. When an object is immersed in a fluid, it experiences an upward force called buoyant force. This property is called buoyancy or upthrust. The force of gravity pulls the object downward and the buoyant force pushes it upward. The magnitude of the buoyant force depends upon the density of the liquid. Next, why object float or sink in water? We know it depends upon density. If the density of an object is less than the density of a liquid, it will float on the liquid, and if the density of the object is more than the density of a liquid, it will sink in the liquid. We can demonstrate this by the help of this experiment by taking an cork. When we immerse any object in the water will also exert an upthrust force. Now, Archimedes' principle. Archimedes' principle tells us about when a body is partially or fully immersed in a fluid, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. Archimedes' principle has many uses. It is used in designing ships and submarines. Hydrometer used to determine the density of liquid. Lactometer used to determine purity of milk. Now, density and relative density. Density means mass upon volume. The density of substance is the mass of unit volume of the substance. The unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. Relative density means the relative density of a substance is the ratio of the density of a substance to the density of water. We know relative density is a ratio of similar quantities. That is why it has no unit. Okay, thank you very much.